Have you ever felt trapped in a cycle of despair? The weight of the world pressing down, the anxious whispers in your mind growing louder, and a sense of hopelessness creeping in. You're not alone! Today we'll explore a powerful story from Buddha's teachings about a young monk who faced the depths of depression and anxiety and emerged stronger, with clarity and peace. This story could hold the key to your own freedom. Stay with us until the end and discover the timeless wisdom that might change your life forever. Long ago, in a secluded monastery nestled in the forested hills, there lived a young monk named Kiran. Kiran was known for his diligence and devotion to the teachings of Buddha. Yet, despite his disciplined practice, Kiran carried a heavy burden. Inside, Kiran felt lost. His mind was constantly clouded by doubt, worry, and sadness. At times, he would sit by himself, staring at the horizon, feeling the weight of unspoken sorrows pressing down on him. Though he prayed, meditated, and recited mantras, the shadows in his heart refused to lift. One day, during the evening meditation session, Buddha noticed Kiran's troubled face. After the session ended, Buddha approached him. "Kiran," he said gently, "your heart is heavy. Will you share your burden with me?" Kiran hesitated, tears welling in his eyes. "Master, I feel trapped in my own mind. My thoughts race endlessly, dragging me into worry and sadness. I try to meditate, but my heart feels like a stormy sea. I cannot find peace." The Buddha listened carefully and then said, "Tomorrow, meet me at the riverbank before sunrise. I will help you see through the storm." The Buddha pointed to the river and said, "Kiran, tell me what you see." "I see the water flowing swiftly," Kiran replied. "The surface is restless, full of ripples and waves." "Do you think the river is its waves?" Buddha asked. Kiran frowned. "No, Master, the river is deeper than the waves. The surface is just one part of it." Buddha smiled. "Your mind is like this river. The waves on the surface are your thoughts. Restless, ever-changing, sometimes calm, sometimes stormy. But beneath the waves lies a stillness, a depth untouched by the chaos above." Kiran looked at the river, his heart stirred by Buddha's words. Buddha continued, "When you identify only with your thoughts and feelings, you forget the stillness within. Depression and anxiety are like turbulent waves, but they are not the whole river. With practice, you can learn to rest in the stillness below." Analogy. The mind is like a river. Thoughts and emotions are the surface waves, but beneath them lies a calm, steady current. Mindfulness tip. When overwhelmed by anxious thoughts, pause and observe them like waves on a river. Remind yourself, these waves are not the whole of me. "Kiran," Buddha said, "take this stone and throw it into the river." Kiran obeyed, watching as the stone sank to the bottom with a soft plunk. Buddha asked, "What did the stone do to the river?" "It made ripples," Kiran said, "but the river keeps flowing." Buddha nodded. "Now imagine if the river tried to stop the stone, holding it above the surface. What would happen?" "It would disrupt the flow," Kiran said thoughtfully. "Exactly," Buddha said. "When you resist your pain, when you try to hold it up or push it away, you disrupt the natural flow of life. But when you allow the stone to sink, it becomes part of the river and the flow continues." Kiran thought about his own struggles, how he had resisted his sadness, fought his anxious thoughts, and judged himself for feeling this way. Expanded analogy. Depression and anxiety are like stones. When you resist them, they weigh you down. But when you allow them to sink into the river of your being, they lose their power and become part of the flow. Mindfulness tip. When difficult emotions arise, don't resist or judge them. Instead, acknowledge them with kindness. This too is part of my experience. Let them flow through you and they will pass. Buddha asked, "Kiran, what do you see there?" "An empty boat, Master," Kiran replied. "Imagine if that boat had bumped into you while you were crossing the river," Buddha said. "Would you feel angry?" "No," Kiran said, puzzled. "It's just an empty boat. There's no one to blame." "Exactly," Buddha said. "But now imagine the boat had someone in it, and they steered recklessly, bumping into you. How would you feel?" "I would feel angry," Kiran admitted. Buddha smiled. "The boat is like your pain, Kiran. When you see it as an empty boat, when you stop blaming yourself or others for your suffering, it becomes easier to let go. But when you attach blame, You anchor your pain and keep it alive. Kiran felt a wave of clarity wash over him. He realized how much he had blamed himself for his struggles, thinking he was weak or unworthy for feeling this way. Expanded analogy. Pain is like an empty boat. It has no intention or malice, it simply is. By letting go of blame, you free yourself from unnecessary suffering. Mindfulness tip. When pain or anxiety arises, see it as an empty boat. Don't attach blame or judgment, just let it drift through your awareness. Over the following weeks, Kiran practiced the lessons he had learned. When anxiety gripped him, he imagined the river and found peace in its still depths. When sadness arose, he let it sink like a stone, no longer resisting. And when self-blame crept in, he reminded himself of the empty boat, letting go of judgment. In time, Kiran's heart grew lighter. The storms in his mind no longer controlled him. Though he still experienced waves of emotion, he knew how to navigate them with the wisdom of the Buddha's teachings. One evening, as he sat by the river, Kiran felt a profound stillness within, a calm that was always there, waiting for him to notice. He bowed deeply, filled with gratitude. Like Kiran, you too can find peace amidst life's storms. Depression and anxiety are part of the human experience, but they do not define you. Remember, Jatu. The river of thoughts. You are not your waves of emotion. Beneath them lies a still and steady depth. 2. The rock of resistance. Let go of resistance and let life flow naturally. 3. The empty boat. Release blame and judgment, and suffering will lessen. Ask yourself, what stones are you holding on to? What boats are you blaming? Take a moment today to let them go. If this story moved you, share it with someone who might need hope. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more stories of timeless wisdom. Peace is not the absence of waves, but the ability to find calm within them. Thank you for taking the time to delve into this tale. If it resonated with you, consider subscribing to our channel for more inspiring and insightful content. May the silent wisdom find its place in your own journey.